Hey, Christopher, how are you doing? So, I went live for a second, like an hour ago, and then I shut it down because I wanted to go support Molly, who was supporting Marsha. And I absolutely love Marsha, and I hope she's doing okay. That's my first thing. And then, hi, Brian Clan. Hey, Puss in Boots. I also wanted to apologize for going live a few days ago and like absolutely freaking out. I was having a really hard time and I wasn't processing it the right way and I just completely spazzed. So, hey, Truth, I wanted to apologize for that. I don't typically do that. And a lot of memories came up and I was struggling. Like, I was really, really struggling. And yeah, I want to just say I'm sorry for that. Hey, Bernie, how are you doing? Hi, Mary, how are you? Whew, what a week it's been. Like, it's been a crazy week. Um, you know, I'm not gonna lie. There's days that I struggle. I wouldn't say struggle with my recovery, but I struggle. I think about things and things bother me, and then I'll start to dwell. And when I start dwelling is when I can get myself into trouble, and that's not good. And September is National Recovery Month. So, I'm probably going to go live with Brandon and we're going to talk about recovery more so than we usually do because it does mean something to me. And because, I am very honest about my recovery and I struggle with it. And I've been clean for years, but lately I've been struggling and I don't know why. Um, yeah. And I wanted to kind of call out Corey, which she has a little troll account called Ratatat. She wants to come at me and tell me that I condone certain behaviors. But Corey, let me ask you a question. Why is it you can call people crackheads? That makes no fucking sense, girl. I have never called you that. I've never called anybody in this community that. Yet you come over to my chat and call me that. And then call me a hypocrite. You make absolutely no sense. You are mentally ill and I think you really need to stay far away from me because I'm going to drill into you hard and I don't want to because I think you got some issues. And I mean, I know I have issues, but I don't want to go there with you. I really don't. Hi, little Kelly. Hey, Rep Ash. Do I have depression? Oh my God, yes, I have some severe depression. I've had depression probably most of my life. I I get flashbacks a lot. I saw my mom die, and so I get flashbacks of that, and sometimes it'll take me to a really bad place. And once I go there, like it's to infinity and beyond, and it takes a lot to bring me back. So yeah, I have pretty deep depression, and I think that's where my addiction came in because they tried to put me on all these meds, and my anxiety sucks and it's really bad. So they put me on Xanax, and ooh, that's where it began for me was the Xanax. Hey, Top Cop, how are you? Hey, Misbehaving. Sabrina's my girl. And I also wanted to talk about everything that's going on in the community, especially with Marsha. I feel so bad for what's going on with her and her friends. I love so many that is involved, and I'm not going to take sides when it comes to that. I love all of you, and I hope nobody gets upset with me. But I really respect Marsha, and she's done a lot for me, and she was there for me when a lot of people turn their back. And I can't ever turn my back on Marsha. I really hope she's doing okay right now. And I know that she needs as much support as possible. And on the flip side of that, I absolutely love Amanda Lynn. And, I hope that she's coping with all of this okay, and I really hope that they can all sit down and talk and resolve this without any hard feelings and without anybody from the other side putting their nose in where it doesn't belong. Miss Bellevue, I just yeah, I think that if they can get this settled, that would be great for everyone. Oh, hey, Amanda Ray. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I took a day or two to kind of decompress and calm down and meditate. It was it was really hard. I had a really hard time when my friend went missing. We went and we searched for her. Um, I worked with her for a long time and I got close to her. And so it was really hard when they ended up finding her body. And, you know, uh, I don't deal with death very well. So I took it pretty hard. I probably didn't take it as hard as her family, obviously, but, it's really hard when you know somebody that passes away and you cared about them and you remember their laugh and the conversations you had with them and the memories. It's really sad, and it's sad for their family and their kids and grandkids. It's just a sad situation all the way around, and it's sad that nobody has been held responsible, for her death, and he's able to walk around free and go on vacations. It just sucks, and it upset me really bad the other day, and I think I made an ass out of myself when I went live. Talked about some things I probably shouldn't have, and I apologize for that. Bernie, how are you, darling? Little Kelly. Oh gosh, yeah. Death is something that I don't like and I don't take very well, and I try to I hide, and I go to a dark place, and I don't know how to cope very well with it. And I think the other day I was trying to find some way to um, cope, and maybe I didn't do it the right way, but I was grasping at straws because I was starting to kind of lose it, and I was freaking out and I didn't know what to do. So, yeah, Top Cop is very overwhelming sometimes, and yeah. Somebody come up and hang out with me. Hey, Trisha. How are you, darling? Ash274. How are you? Hey, Callie. I felt bad. I was actually really embarrassed. Like, probably the next day after I realized that I had gone live and like poured my heart out about things that I don't typically talk about, I was like, oh God, what did I just do? And then it took me another day to like go and apologize to a few people. And I'm like, I'm so sorry that I did that. Like, I probably shouldn't even have talked about that. And I'm sorry that I was all over the place and not making much sense. But I get these emotions sometimes and I don't know how to deal with them. And I don't know. It's crazy. I'm sorry for what you're going through, Ash. I know that it's probably pretty hard on you right now. I don't really have the right things to say. I know that everybody involved is hurting, and I'm so sorry for that. I feel bad because I care about all of you, and I don't know what to say. I did try to reach out to Marcia though, and I tried to tell her that I loved her and that you know I was at least thinking about her. She didn't write me back, but I do want her to know that if ever she needs me, I'll be there for her, and I'm praying for her, and I hope she's going to be all right. Black-hearted. Hi, honey. You're right. Yeah, there's sometimes that, I'll have to go to my husband because, he knows the big book like the back of his hand. When it comes to the 12 steps in recovery, it's kind of intimidating sometimes because I don't memorize things like he does. So I'll have to go to him and I'll be like, okay, I need you to help me with this or this. And it's humbling sometimes, but then there's times that I don't want to talk to him about it. I can be weird sometimes because there's times I don't want to talk to my sponsor, but I want to talk to my husband. And then there's times I don't want to talk to my husband, but I want to talk to my sponsor. I've been very fortunate that I'm able to have such wonderful people in my life that are a part of recovery, like Brandon or like my sponsor. I'm grateful for that because without them, honest to God, I don't think I would have been able to have made it as far as I have. I couldn't stay 2 weeks clean, let alone years clean. And this is like a huge step for me. It's a work in progress for sure. The depression, oh God, when it comes to addiction, when you have depression on top of that, it makes it 10 times worse because you want the depression to stop. You want the thoughts to stop. And so, when it gets so bad, sometimes you sit there and think, well, if I take this, it'll stop. But then I have to sit there and think, well, after that medication wears off, my problems are going to be tenfold. So is it even worth it? And then I have to start my time all over again. I made it 5, 6 years. I'm gonna have to start all that over. And I don't want to do that because I've come so far. It it's a mess. Oh, Purple Orchid. It's oh gosh. Sometimes it's manageable. Sometimes um sometimes I can do really well. And then other times, something will happen, like somebody will pass away or, financial issues. And that's where it gets me. And that's when the depression kicks in and starts really kicking my ass. And I get real sad or depressed. And then I become a loner where I don't want to talk to people and I push people away. That's my problem. I can't tell you how many times I've done that to the truth. I'll just stop talking. I've done it to Puss in Boots. I'll just stop talking. And that freaks them out sometimes. And ooh, yeah. I'm so very grateful that I've got the ladies in my life that I do have because they are very selfless and they've always been there for me. And I'm so lucky to have them as my friends. Christy Andrews, how are you doing, darling? Carla Ray, how are you? Mrs. Michelle, thank you, Miss Behaven. I think that I've also come so far because I've been so honest. And you know, even though I shouldn't admit things that I do, I think it's healthy for me sometimes, you know, because it's the truth and it's who I am. And so, why be ashamed of that, I guess? I've done so many things in my past that I was embarrassed about that what I do nowadays, there's just no comparison. Like, there's nothing that I can do today that's anywhere near as embarrassing as it was back then. Oh, Lord. The stories I could tell you. Hi, Delusion Dispeller. How are you? Puss in Boots, right? Hey, Jana. How are you? Oh gosh, I was so sloppy. I was one of those people that would probably take like, I don't know, 8 to 10 Xanax bars. Like in we're not talking like the little purple footballs. We're talking about like Xanax bars. And then I'd want to go out. I'd start feeling good and I'd want to go out places, right? And so, my husband or whoever would try to like convince me not to leave the house, but I'd be like, "No, no, I'm feeling great." And so I'd go out, and by the time we actually got somewhere, you couldn't understand me. I would, I was slurring my speech, not being able to walk, just doing the most stupid things. Oh gosh, I've embarrassed myself and been kicked out of so many places. It's not even funny. There's some places I still won't go to today because I'm so embarrassed how I acted. Carla, honey, thank you. Hi, Galway girl. I've overdosed on Xanax and had to have my stomach pumped. And then, like, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes after having my stomach pumped, I was reaching into my pockets to put more Xanax in my mouth. They had to put me on a psych hold one time because of that. I mean, the insanity of addiction is absolutely insane. I, I, I don't, someone of sound mind wouldn't do those kind of things. But when you're in the midst of your addiction, you don't really care what's sane. You don't think about those kind of things. You just want to consume. And that was me. Like, I wanted to consume as much as I could so I could just not feel. And it does get easier. It's gotten a whole lot easier, but I have my moments, and I don't know. And I think the reason that I stay clean is because I get to talk about it. I actually love talking about recovery. I love talking about my story because other people share their stories with me, and I'm like, wow, I thought I had it hard, and when they get to share stories with me, I feel grateful. And then I get to share that with them, and that means the world to me. Hey, Monkey Mar, how are you? Oh gosh, Carla, I'm sorry. You know, I I can remember when my mom was alive. She died right before I turned 5 years old. And I can remember her overdosing, and I was sitting on a bouncy ball, and I didn't really understand what was happening, but her lips were blue and she was vomiting. And I'll never forget that. And I can remember, you know, growing up, I would always say, I'm never going to become an addict. I'm never going to do drugs. Well, I became a drug addict. So I always wonder, is it hereditary? Like, was it embedded in me before I even knew? Even though I didn't want to become an addict, you know, my mom's dad, he was an addict. He was an alcoholic, I believe. I never got to know him, but yeah. So I wonder, is it really a family disease, like hereditary? Hey, True Helper, how are you? Oh gosh. Tracy, hi, honey.
Am I in here?
You are? How long have you been sitting there? I'm so sorry.
No, I was just listening. I was bored.
I'm sorry.
I was like, I'm going to go up there. Not that I really got anything to add because, well, I'm the mother of an addict. I'm not the addict. But
Yeah,
I feel like I've been an addict and never put anything in my body. I mean, when you walk that walk with somebody else, I mean, you feel just as vulnerable and, I mean,
absolutely.
but I think you do good for this community, Sarah. Hey, Tough Cop. I think you do good for this community. I think you do help people that are struggling. You give them hope. Um,
Thank you, Tracy.
my son was in such a shape a week or so ago. I was begging him to talk to Brandon. Of course, he didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to a stranger. Just leave me alone, Mom. I'll get over it. And he did. But,
Yeah, and we
it's like,
can't force him,
no.
if he ever wants that number, Brandon will be there in a heartbeat. We can't force him to do something he doesn't want. But hopefully, he'll make the right decisions.
Well, my biggest
How
fear is that he's become institutionalized. I don't, that's, well, it's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is he'll go back to using and kill himself. But I don't want my son to be institutionalized. There's some people that just go to jail and go to jail and go to jail. Then they come out and they run the streets and they do dope. And then jail sounds easy. you
yeah.
know Jail sounds easy. It's structured, it's camaraderie in there. When you're out on the streets by yourself, I mean, come on, if you don't have anything to offer, your buddies that you get high with, they don't care about you. If you don't have anything to offer them, they don't give a shit about you. Never could get chance to understand that, because he actually called these people his.
Hey, Pixie.
What'll happen? Just boot me, Sarah.
Boot you?
Yeah,
Why would
boot
I
me,
do that?
because I got a call coming in.
Oh,
Yeah, just
I
boot
don't know
me.
how to do that.
Just remove from
Okay.
stream.
I just had to remove her. Yeah, like when it comes to jails and institutions, that was a safe place for me. My family, they knew where I was at. They knew I couldn't go out and get drugs. They knew that I had food in my belly 3 times a day. Even though the food sucked, they knew I was being fed. They knew I had a place to sleep. And, in jails suck, don't get me wrong, but, you know, they had programs like you could, do AA classes, and those classes were cool because it was something to do. When you're in jail, like all you do is sit on your cot or play cards. And oh, it sucked. My family refused to take my calls when I was in jail. And they they knew that I was going to beg them to get me out, and they wouldn't have it. They weren't having it. They knew that I wouldn't overdose if I was in jail, so they left me in there. I think the longest I was ever in jail was probably 4 weeks, and it sucked. Oh my God, I hated it. And I always said, well, I'm going to stay sober this time. I'm going to stay sober. And I never did. Like, as soon as I would get out of jail, I'd go use. And I think I did that because I didn't have a plan of recovery. I didn't know how to stay clean. So, and I knew that I had to stay clean in jail, but once I got out, there was nothing really to keep me clean. Yeah, Carla, it makes perfect sense because you knew he was safe in jail. I get it. I completely get it. People will literally look at me today and they'll be like, there's no way that you did things like that 7, 8 years ago. There's no way that that was you. And I'm sitting there like, yep, that was me. I'm the girl that would steal at the grocery store just so I could take it back so I could get some drugs. Yep, that's me. And it's sad. It's such a sad life. And I see people that do that today. And I do try to talk to them and I'm like, there's such a better life out there. And I do tell them, you can own a home, you can get a job. There is hope after recovery. There's hope after addiction. And I don't know. So many people I've talked to, even lately, I've talked to, and they're like, well, I don't know how to get clean. There's no way I can get clean. And I keep telling them, yes, there is. If you want it bad enough, you can do it. You've got to take the steps. You've got to want it bad enough. Anything can be done, and anything is a better life than what you're doing right now. Did I lose Trace for good? Let's see. Oh, Christopher, I'm telling you what, like I hated the way I was living. One of my big things was hey Kat, one of my big things was I would look on Facebook And I would see all of my friends, they had their own homes, they had these great lives. They would take pictures going out to restaurants or whatever they were doing, all this nice jewelry. And here I was in like the streets of Dayton, Ohio, eating out of a garbage can. And I'm like, wow, I sure as hell wasn't brought up this way. My life is not supposed to be going this way. And I hated it. And I had to sit there and like really think, if I keep doing this, where's my future going to take me? I'm going to probably end up dead. And I didn't want that. And I wanted the nice things in life, but I knew that I couldn't get there if I kept going the way I was going. It really sucked. Like I was, I wouldn't say I was a bad person, but I was making a whole lot of bad choices, a ton of them. I got to the point where none of my family wanted to talk to me. Nobody wanted to be around me. And it took a long time to just rediscover myself and to get me back to where I wanted to be and to who I used to be. It's crazy. Hey, Uncle Lancy. Oh gosh, yeah, sad. Tabitha, you're so right. They don't realize it and they don't think that they can achieve it. They think that they've done so much damage that they'll never get out of the rut that they're in. And I'm like, yes, you can. Let me show you. Let me teach you. And it's sad. Oh, thank you, true helper. Bless you too. Laced with Lacey. I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired too. It really wears you down. I was in my early 30s when I decided that I was done. Like I didn't want to do it no more. I didn't want to live that kind of life anymore. I mean, it totally wore my body down. Here I am 40 and I'm probably I'm broken. Like my body is broken. I've done so much damage. And where am I going to be in the next 10 years because of the choices I made way back then? Like, I'm going to be lucky if I'm able to walk. Um, I've been in so many car accidents because of the drugs I was on and caused so many wrecks. Ugh. I've broken so many bones. It's kind of like you wish you had like a reset so you can redo it. Hi, Dog Mom. How are you? Oh, absolutely. They absolutely have to want it. And nobody can make anybody get clean. They have to absolutely want it. And that's why you can't force somebody into recovery. You can't force somebody into treatment. They've got to want to do it. They've got to be at the end. They've got to hit that rock bottom or it's not going to work. It might work momentarily, but it's not going to work for the long haul. And thank you, Debbie. Oh, Christopher, I'm already limping around. My knee, oh gosh, I was in a car accident one time. I had taken too many Xanax, go figure. And I was on Dayton Cincinnati Road and I ran into this huge light pole. And I was in a Mustang. And this Mustang was just, it was amazing. Let's just put it that way. I love this Mustang. And I went to shift gears, I think. I don't even remember because I was so messed up. Anyways, the motor caved in and completely ruined my knee. I had to have so many surgeries on it. So I understand limping around. I'm there. Like my knee is, oh, it's a mess. I'm supposed to have, see, and that's another thing I worry about. I'm supposed to have my knee replaced, and I don't want to do that. I am absolutely petrified of the medications that they'll put me on. And so I've been putting the surgery off and off and off, and I've been dealing with the pain because I'm so scared to be put on narcotics. I don't wanna be put on Vicodin or any of the medications they put me on. I'm scared to death of that. So, yeah, I kinda, like, live with the pain now, and sometimes and this is weird too, sometimes I think I deserve it. Like, I'll be like, "Well, this is what I get for getting into that accident." Is that weird? Like, I'll sit there and convince myself that I deserve it. It's weird. That could be my depression too, who knows? Oh, I hate surgeries. I've had a few surgeries in my time and, oh, they scare me, I hate them. Yes, Oaklancy. I actually only have, like, 2 doctors, and I only see 1, but I've had to be completely upfront with them, and I had to have Brandon see, Brandon was there with my whole the beginning of my recovery until now, and, he's a counselor, so it was so cool to have him walk into my doctor with me and actually say and I said to my doctor, "I'm in recovery now, and I've been lying to you, don't give me any Xanax anymore." That was huge for me because this doctor would give me, like, so many Xanax a month, and it was really hard to do, but once I did it, I was so unbelievably proud of myself, and I knew that I could conquer the world after that. I mean, it was huge because I had been seeing that doctor for, shoot, 15 years? So, yeah, that was a big step, and being honest with the doctor is huge. Once you do that, you know that you can take the world by the tail. Yeah, Tabitha, you're right. You're right. Thank you, Dee Dee Duggan. I was such a huge manipulator with doctors and stuff. I could manipulate the best doctors into giving me pain medication. Um, like, I was pretty convinced I was a G at it because I could get doctors to give me I just ungodly amounts of Percocets, OxyContin, Xanax bars, anything, you name it. I could get it, and I'm not proud of it, but I just sit back and think, "Wow, how did I do that?" Because today I'm petrified to go into the doctors. Even still, like, I do not get new doctors. If there's, like, a new doctor I need, I won't go. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've had, like, a regular checkup. I don't do it. Hi, Cookies Mom, how are you? Thank you, Okalancy. Thank you. Hi, Shannon. Oh gosh. Hi, Margie, how are you? Hey, Cork. Thank you. Yeah, like, sometimes I feel like I do pretty good, and then other times I feel like I'm not doing so well. Like, when I went live the other day, I didn't even tell Brandon about that because he would have probably been like, "What?" I didn't even tell him about that. He still doesn't know. I'm sure he'll know now, but yeah, I almost cracked. Like, I was almost there. I was probably sitting there rocking back and forth. I don't know. I was pretty upset and shaken, and honestly, you guys were so kind to me, and I appreciate that, and there was so many people that reached out to me, and I am so unbelievably grateful for the ones that did. You guys helped me like you wouldn't believe. I was really upset, and just to hear you guys care enough to reach out and say, "Hey, it's gonna be all right." I'm grateful for that. Um, yeah, uh, that was pretty amazing to me, and that means the world to me. And there was a few that have actually shared their stories with me, and I'm so unbelievably grateful for that as well. Just to be able to share something like that is huge, especially this month. It is National Recovery Month, and this is something to be very proud of. You know, every day is something to be proud of when it comes to recovery, but to be able to share that with someone is huge, and I'm grateful for it. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, I get people coming to me that call me names, that call me a junkie. It that's whatever. I mean, it's a part of who I am. It's a part of my past. It's things I did. I'm not ashamed of it anymore because it's if I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And I'm so proud of where I'm at right now. I've accomplished a lot. I'm so proud that I have some of the things that I have. I'm so proud that, you know, I've been able to accomplish things that I've accomplished today. So, yeah, I'm kind of grateful for my experiences. I don't really like the junkie word. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I try my best to overlook it, but I'm not going to lie. It kind of bothers me. That's why when Corey comes at me calling me a crackhead or a junkie, that it bothers me because she'll sit there and cry and wonder why people call her that, but then she turns right around and calls other people that. And I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. How are you so upset being called that? But you do it to people too. And then you turn around and tell me I condone it. This girl's whacked, y'all. I'm telling you, she's got to screw loose because I do not condone it. I don't think I've ever condoned that ever. Just being honest. Thank you, True Helper. Yeah, the word junkie is mean. I don't know. See, I don't particularly care for the word, but somebody like my husband, it doesn't bother him a bit. We see things differently when it comes to that. It is kind of derogatory though, like, because I'm not currently doing that drug. So, no, I'm not a junkie. Hi, Pixie. You know, when it comes to this community, there's people in this community that I thought that I would never have respect for until I actually got to know them and to talk to them. And they are such great, amazing people. And I'm grateful that I get to know them. And I don't know. So when I hear people say that YouTube isn't real life, well, that's not necessarily true because we're real people with real feelings, real emotions. And, you know, a lot of us are friends outside of YouTube. So it is real and it is reality. I don't know, it bothers me to see the fighting because I know that these people have feelings for one another. So I know that they're hurting. And so it does make me sad. In the past year or two, I've really, you know, I care for so many people in this community and I've made friendships with people. So, I mean, it does kind of pull on your heartstrings when you see people upset and sad. It makes you sad because you don't want to see your friends sad and you don't want to see your friends hurt. And yeah. Anybody want to come and hang out with me? Oh, is she backstage? Hello? Tracy? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not good at this StreamYard stuff. Hey, Tawanda, how are you? I love you so much. Tawanda's my YouTube mom. She makes me smile. Truth, truth, I have no idea how I put you up there if you're not even there. I have no idea how I did that. There she is.
How the hell did that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, I was like, boot me from the stream. Did you all hear my phone conversation?
No, I don't think so. Oh God, I hope not.
Because remember, I said I got a phone call, boot me from the stream?
Yes, I
But
think
then
what.
while I was talking on the phone, I could still hear your stream. I was like, oh my God, are they hearing this?
Okay, so what I did was it says your name and then it says remove from stream. So I did that. And then Pixie said, is Tracy up there? And so I hit remove from kick from stream. I don't know what I did, but hopefully nobody heard your conversation. That would suck.
Well, I mean,
So,
it wasn't that big of a deal, but I still wouldn't
oh,
want people.
Ash
We
heard
heard
it.
every juicy detail. I mean, you don't want people to hear your phone conversation because it'll turn into 15 videos. So now, like I said, I'm kind of sitting on my hands when it comes to this community right now. I'll probably go live later. A lot of people's not going to like my opinion, but that usually doesn't matter much to me. But I just, I just think I want to give my opinion.
And you have every right to your opinion. I don't know the whole story, so I don't know what to say. I feel kind of bad.
Look, Christy says you'll know if there's 15 videos made exactly. It was just me and my son, and it was typical. We're out of dog food, and he's got a really good friend that's helping him out and keeping him because this dude doesn't do dope. And, he's letting him pretty much stay there for free while Chance like decompresses and looks for work. And he's like, Mom, I need a little bit of help. We're out of dog food. He even showed me the empty dog food bag because, well, that's where we're at, because he does use, or has used in the past. He's so clean right now, but he's like, I'll prove it to you. And he rattled the empty dog food. And I'm not going to let a dog go hungry.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, you're in a really hard predicament. You really are. And
I know.
you can tell by his voice too if you think he's using
Oh,
and
I
you can,
definitely. He
yeah, you're
video
his
chats
mom.
me. He video chats me. He doesn't call or text. He video chats me every single time because he knows I'm going to want to see him because he
Hmm.
knows I know what he looks like when he's using. Trust me, he's probably put on 30 pounds since he quit using. He's not happy about it, but I told him I'd rather have you fat than dead.
Yes. That's what you need to tell him. Don't worry about the weight. Just be grateful that you're sober. The weight can come off, more easy than it can. I don't
Oka
know.
Lancy, now you're making up stories. It wasn't a laptop, it was a tablet. And it got really hot after I did that. I was scared to throw it in the garbage. I thought, fuck, I'm going to burn the house down.
Oh my gosh, that was epic. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
that was Tablet Gate.
Tablet Gate. That was one of my favorite memories of Tracy.
Do you know that helped my frozen shoulder?
Did
After,
it?
yeah, because my shoulders were frozen, and I went to the orthopedic doctor, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just something that happens. It just has to wear off." And uh, after I banged that tablet a couple times, I thought, ooh, my right arm feels a little better.
Oh my God.
I could actually
it,
shave under my armpit. I could get my arm up high enough to shave under the armpit. So
it was worth every hit.
it really was. I mean, a person can only take so much on here. And
Uh,
that's one of the things I want to talk about. I mean, how far can you push a person? You
oh,
know,
absolutely. I know Pixie agrees.
yeah, she'd probably like me to see me smash something else, but I got nothing else, Pixie. I got nothing for you.
I love Pixie. She cracks me up.
But wait till y'all see my Patreon gifts. You all are going to be so jelly.
Hey, Joanne, born to sparkle. How are you, darling?
Hey, Joanne.
I love her. She is one of the sweetest people I've ever seen on here. She has always been nothing but kind to everyone. I love that lady.
That's what I told him, Gigi Dugan, to get into. I even offered to buy him a gym pass, a gym membership. But he's just in that mood right now. And I don't know, maybe Sarah can explain the mood because I've never been an addict. He's just in that mood right now that, he's kind of feeling worthless. He's, like I said, when you're an addict for as long as he has been, I mean, Chance has been using, I'd say, hard drugs for at least 15 to 17 years.
And
And
that's
that's
the
just
thing.
hard drugs.
Yeah, when we get sober, there's so much that goes into staying sober. It's not just getting sober, it's getting the mind sober, like the emotions. There's so much to it. That's why they always say working a program is good because not only, does it help keeping you sober, but mentally it helps you as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you stay in survival mode. As a user, you stay in survival mode.
Yeah.
Your main goal is to use and whatever it takes to get that next pill or that next hit or
Yeah.
whatever. And that's kind of like a survival mode. And he's been in it for so long that even his friend, who will also video chat me at odd hours of the night, but I've known this kid since him and Chance went to school together in like second grade.
You said
But
sur- you said survival mode. Oh my God. Brandon said that to me the other day. He said, Sarah, we've been on the streets living. If the apocalypse ever happens, me and you are golden.
yeah, you'll make it.
Yeah.
Uh, but he's in that, like Drew told me, his buddy Andrew, he said, because, every day I'm like, Chance, are you looking for work? Of course I have to sing because I'm like, Chance, you're not using, are you? No, Mom. Well, Drew called me the other night and he goes, listen up, helicopter mom. You need to back off a little bit. He's decompressing. I'm trying to get him out of that survival mode. I'm trying to make him realize that you don't have to sweat the next high or the next dope to keep from getting sick. You're in a good place right now. And he's very grateful to Drew. I mean, we just talked. That's who my phone call was with.
Oh.
But, Chance is also an animal lover. And he's like, and it's a beautiful little English bulldog. But he's like, Mom, I'll even prove Lucky's out of food. He said, I don't want to get in my change jar. I've got $15 saved up. Me and Drew have a Me and Drew have a bet who'll have to get in their change jar first. Well, when Chance lived with me or was around me, I couldn't even keep change. I mean, so the fact that he's even got $15 in change saved up, I'm like, you go, boy, you
Oh
go.
yeah, that's saying something. I mean, usually when addicts are using, they can't save a penny.
No, nothing. I mean, it's like, no, you're right.
Hey, Jenna
Um,
Moon.
I get this little thing on my phone. It says light rain will be starting in 20 minutes, and it's never right. Light rain never starts in 20 minutes.
I wish it
I
would
think
rain here.
well, it has been, kind of soggy here, but we got all the militias and all of them coming to Louisville this weekend, and it's just going
Mm.
to be a cluster. And I mean, you don't have to worry about me crossing the bridge, but I'm just not looking forward to it. I'm so tired of the world being in total freaking chaos.
Cookie's mom, Vivitrol shots are amazing. It has naloxone in it, and the Vivitrol shots last up to like 27 to 28 days, and it absolutely helps with the opiates, unless the addict thinks that they can get over the Vivitrol shot. Then that can be pretty risky because then they take a huge chance on overdosing. But
Yep.
yeah, Vivitrol is great. It's a once a month shot. It's amazing. Have you talked to your son about that, Trace? The Vivitrol? It takes away cravings too.
Well, he's in that frame of mind right now that, Mom, I just don't even have any desire to use. The
Oh,
thought
good.
of feeling like, that I'm a slave to a substance, that's where he's at. But I worry about every day, does his mind change? You know, does does he just wake up one day and say, "Hey, polyester levels are tanked." Keep encouraging him to work out at any capacity. Yeah, I asked him today. I said, "Will you go out and just ride your bike for a minute? You know, um, just go out and do a bike ride. Just." And I don't say it because of his weight, because the last thing he needs is for me to come down on him because he's feeling self-conscious about his weight. I mean,
Love
how
you,
many people?
Tawanda.
Hey, Tawanda, back to work. Um, I would never want to put him in the mindset that, oh, son, you've gained a lot of weight, because then that could trigger him to think, well, if I go back to using, I won't be this big anymore. So I don't
Mm.
even comment on his weight. He said, look how fat I'm getting. And I just simply said, I'd rather have you fat than dead. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. Vitamin D is awesome too. Well, he's in Florida, so he should be getting vitamin D. But I don't know. I mean, you know how it is, Sarah. You had your grandparents when you were growing up, and I'm sure at some point they were your lifeline and didn't even know that they were doing more harm than they were good.
Yep. I
You know,
still
I've
regret
I've
that.
been
Yeah.
there. Oh, Chance has so many regrets. I mean, he's so full of guilt, and I'm so full of resentment. And I know that sounds horrible. Nobody should ever
No.
resent their child, but I am. I've had 17 years of hell. I mean, it feels like I've been an addict for 17 years, because every time he stuck a needle in his arm, I felt it. Every time he snorted a pill or whatever, I felt it, you know. But we're going to work through that. I'm seeing a therapist now. I have to get through my stuff first. And then we're going to do like teleconferences where, but Chance is just such a quiet guy. I don't know that he would spill his guts to anybody
Try to
but me.
encourage him to do that because it helps so much. He doesn't have to carry all that by himself. It absolutely helps.
Your main girl has nothing to do with key lime ice cream. Key lime ice cream.
I've
I
been
can only
craving.
take like I can only take like one bite out of a key lime pie because it's so rich. It's like cheesecake to me. I love that one bite. And those little miniature cheesecakes, I haven't seen those in a long
Mm.
time, but those little miniature ones. But my pulmonology office called yesterday. Was it yesterday? And I
I
told
love
you
you,
about how
Joanne.
how fucked up my sleep study got because all my stuff kept
Yeah.
coming off or whatever. They said they got enough. And they said you actually do better on your back. And I was like, well, I never sleep on my back, so
Are you like me and you flip flop all night long?
all night long, all night
I
long.
do that
But
too.
my hips burn. If I lay on one hip very long, it like
Mm-hmm.
burns. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just me getting old. But she says, now get this, she says, honey, do you realize you have one of the biggest, and she called it something, I don't know if it was incisional or whatever, hernias that we've ever seen? I was like,
Oh
yeah,
gosh.
yeah, I realized that. I mean, how could I miss it? And she
Oh,
goes, "Well, I just wanted to let you know that." And I was
you
like,
gotta get that checked out. You
"I
gotta get
know,
that
but
removed.
I know, but
Mm.
it's scary."
Yeah, it's gonna be more scary if it gets bigger. Oh gosh.
Oh gosh, what?
I couldn't imagine having a hernia carrying it like that and it growing. I mean, can it cause more harm to you if it gets bigger?
Well, okay, I went to see a surgeon and he didn't want to touch it. He flat out told me, "I don't want to deal with this." He said, "You're not 5 years out from the cancer. If they have to go back
Mm,
into your abdomen, there's not going to be nothing to pull together. Once we do this, if they have to go back into your abdomen, there's not going to be enough stomach muscle to bring it back together, which we all know they use mesh anyways.
right.
But he didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, he gave me a whole list of pros and cons. There were two pros and 59 cons. And I was like, okay, well, this doesn't sound like a big deal. But it does. It gets bigger every day. Right now, I'd say it's about the size of a small pumpkin.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm
Crazy.
55 years old and I walk around like 8 months pregnant. It's embarrassing. I don't want to go anywhere. Yeah, I have a hernia belt, but I've gained so much weight because I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything anymore. It's just, but there's so many people out there that's got it so much worse than me. It makes my back hurt. I get literal spasms in my chest because it's like my boobs like sit right on top of it.
You're
It's
gonna
like,
need to buck up and go to the doctor and have surgery and get that removed. You'll feel so much better once you do.
yeah, I know. I know. There's so much I need to do.
And it's gonna be better for your health to get that removed.
I know. I know. Ocalancy says, "My only addiction is coffee. I gave up alcohol at least 1 month a year just because blue sugar would be tougher, but sugar would be tougher." I would say my only addiction is cigarettes, and that's not good because I have COPD. But, like I said, there's so many people out there with such bigger problems. And
Thanks for stopping by, Joanne. I appreciate you and I love you dearly.
bye, Joanne. Take care. But Sarah, you're such an inspiration to this community. And, you're very opinionated, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you always seem to feel guilty after you've put your opinion out there. And I only know that
I
because,
do.
we talk.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
do.
you're,
I'll feel bad because I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, did I hurt that person's feelings or did I say something wrong? I guess, yeah.
you always do it. I mean, we fully expect it out of you. Just like we fully expect you to up and disappear on us but don't do that anymore you
Hey,
know,
I've gotten better. I have gotten
yeah,
better. I
because
call you.
yeah, and that's what we told you. If you need downtime, if you need Sarah time, then at least say, "Hey, I need some Sarah time. I'll talk to y'all, in a little bit or whatever." So, Crazy Gemini says, "My best friend's dad has had to have a complete abdominal wall reconstruction because of hernias. It's not getting it removed." Yeah. Yeah, they don't remove them. It's just tucking your intestines back in and
Your main girl,
put
thank you. I love you. I
and
have so
putting
much
something
respect
over it
back
to
for
hold them
you.
in.
You see, Brandon had that surgery not too long ago, Truth, remember? And
Yep.
his was pretty large. And I'm telling you what, he feels 100 times better since he was
Yeah.
in the surgery. It was cakewalk. Like I'm serious. He might have had the staples or whatever, but in the drain thing. But I'm telling you, he feels so much better since it's gone.
I sent Tawanda a picture of it one night and she was like, "Oh my God."
Oh,
And I was like, "I know, tell me." When the only thing you can get on is freaking leggings or stretch shorts because nothing goes over it. You got to remember it's right in the center of your stomach. So you can't wear low rise because they're falling down to the crack of your ass. And you definitely can't wear mid-rise because it won't go up that far. Like I said, I, it is what it is. It'll get taken care of when I can. And
Was yours the same kind as Brandon's? It was that belly button one. It was like right in the belly button.
no, mine is my entire stomach.
Oh
Like my
gosh.
entire stomach wall has just separated. When they went in and took out part of my colon, when I had colon cancer, it became an incisional hernia. What happened was I was laying in bed one night and I was hooked up to chemo and I coughed. And I didn't cough hard, I just coughed. And I
Hmm.
saw like this baseball thing come out of my stomach and it didn't go back. But it was only on one side. It was on my right side. Now it's like it's opened up so much it's on both sides. Trust me, I've had every doctor that's ever looked at me say, wow. That's never good when a doctor looks at you and says, wow.
Yeah.
But I need to look into it, but with COVID and, me trying to get my disability, it's just, oh my God.
Yeah, but the last thing you want is it for it to get any bigger and then the surgery become more um more serious. You know what I
Well, if it
mean?
got any bigger, it would be on my sides because there's nothing left in the stomach to separate, I wouldn't think.
Oh no,
But
Helen, she had colon cancer.
no, it was colon cancer. I still got both my boobs. I had to get a CAT scan the other day for to look at my lungs. And that was really good news. He said he didn't see any kind of scar tissue or anything in my lungs, but I have a nodule on my lung that they thought was calcified. But from the last time I had a CAT scan till now, it's grown a little bit. So it's just one of those things. Just keep an eye on it. You
Gosh.
know, I mean, it's not worth doing a biopsy and all that shit on it. It's just one of those things where, you go back so often, just like I got to go get a colonoscopy every 6 months. It's just, you know, that's what you deal with. But, a lot of that is why I'm in therapy is because I never did deal with it. You know, I was always so consumed with what was going on with Chance that I never, ever, ever put myself first, ever.
Well,
And according to my therapist, that's
now's the time to take care of you and to start focusing on you so you can be here for Chance.
and that's what my therapist said. What good is Chance if you're not here? You know?
Right.
But I got to get right in the head before I get right in the body. And I'm working on both of them. Like I said, I've ignored my COPD since 2015 when I was first diagnosed. I've ignored it. So now I'm started to acknowledge it. But I don't know, man. The hernia, I hate it. I hate it. I mean, it's like my worst enemy.
I hate it for you. I'm just going to drive over there to you and take you to the doctor if you don't go.
Well, and I've got University of Louisville, one of the, well, maybe not university, it's kind of like for poor people, but I would fit right in. But I've got some of the best hospitals, around. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. It's just a matter of finding a doctor who says, yeah, you really need to get this done instead of one saying, wow, I don't want to touch it. So we'll see. I have one too, Truth, that came back after having it repaired in 2015. I don't blame you for being scared. Have you looked into getting an abdominal binder? Oh, I do wear one when I go out, but I can't wear it at home because I can't breathe.
Yeah, Brandon hated wearing his. He didn't wear it for long. He's so stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hernia belt, but I mean, because of my breathing problems, when I put it on, I can't freaking breathe. It likes, you know, I don't know. Like I said, it is what it is.
I think Trace went outside. Are you sitting outside?
Yeah, well, how'd you know that?
Sabrina said she hears soda bubbles. It's just because you're sitting outside.
Those are katydids or whatever. What are those called that come every year? Those, you find them all the shells laying around all the time. Are those katydids?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what those are called.
Cic-
Cicadas.
Cicadas. There you
Cicadas?
go. I think you're right,
Yeah.
but we grew up calling them katydids.
Oh. I think they're cicadas. I'm not sure. I don't even know. They're annoying.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've seen 3 praying mantises in the last couple days. You know how long it's been since I've seen a praying mantis? And then I'm laying in bed the other night and I'm just about to doze off. And I'm thinking, you know what I haven't seen in a long time? Is a grasshopper.
I haven't either.
Think about
Huh.
that. Used to be you could just walk through the grass and they would be hopping everywhere. Where the hell have the grasshoppers gone?
Who knows? I haven't even heard them like around the house now that you say it.
I know.
And we live down by the creek. Huh.
I want to know
Interesting.
where the grasshoppers have gone. Did something eat them? And this is just another, you know,
Look,
end of the world
2020,
kind of theory.
right. 2020 has been so crazy. Who knows? It wouldn't even surprise me.
I've
Well,
had, is that, Helen, is that where it's in your, like up in the neck area or something?
oh, Clancy says, I have y'all's grasshoppers.
Do you? Maybe I'll be
They're
like
safe.
Randy. I'll have you ship me some. She got roaches shipped to her.
For her little lizard or dragon,
Yeah.
not lizard. My bad.
I can't imagine having roaches come in the mail. Oh my
No,
God.
no, I couldn't do it. My son wants one of those bearded dragons, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope.
I, you know,
Hey,
I
Lacey
guess
with
it's,
Lacey.
your personal choice, but I want something I can cuddle up with and greets me at the door. I can't see a beard. But you know what? In Florida, um, big iguanas like live in the trees and stuff.
Mm.
And one day, me and a friend was just sitting outside, probably drinking a beer. I don't remember. And here goes this big iguana just strolling by us. He had an orange tint to him, but I heard they changed colors.
Man,
But
those things. Oh
he was
gosh.
about 4 foot long, probably 2 foot tall. And there he goes, just strolling in front of us. I was like, this is the weirdest freaking state.
I still have PTSD because of those little things. I'm telling you what, when I was a kid, I would go swimming and lay out in the pool down at my aunt's house down in Florida, down in Fort Myers. And
Oh,
those
you don't
things would
mean
chase me.
lizards.
Oh, they were these little lizard things. They would chase me, and I would just be crying, running as fast as I could. Oh, I'm still scared to death of those little things.
Oh, I just saw a lizard here the other day. Of course, it wasn't like a Florida lizard, but I love stuff like that. But like in Florida, you're sitting in a restaurant and you're outdoor on a patio eating, and this big giant 4 foot crane comes walking up wanting a French fry. It's a weird state. I'm telling you, it's weird. Then one
Oh,
day I'm on my way to work and there's a brown pelican on the side of the road. He's obviously been hit. His wings are flapping and everything. Well, pelicans are mean. You know, I
mm-hmm.
if it had been a turtle, okay, stop, I'll get him. But it was a freaking pelican. And oh, okay, Helen. But I mean, I made every phone call I could from the time we saw the pelican till the time I got to work. I called the state police. They were like, "Well, what do you want us to do?" I was like, "I don't know. Go get him. Take him to a sanctuary or something." I mean, he's flopping his wings. He's obviously been hit. And I don't know that anybody ever helped that pelican.
Poor
I had to go to
thing.
work. I couldn't check on him. Plus, they're mean.
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans are mean. That's why I hated always going out on the pier because those mean little bastards sit out there and you walk by and they try to get you. And I
Turtles
miss
sure
the
can,
horny
Joanne.
toads.
They got a bite to them. I'm telling you what, they have so much force with their jaws and their mouth. They could definitely break a finger off.
Oh, I got a turtle story too, but that's a whole different story. So one day, this turtle is out in our driveway, and I just pulled a double, and I was living with my sister, and I hear her screaming out in the garage. So I go out there, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And she said, "Look," and she pointed to the driveway, and it was a pretty good sized turtle. And I was like, "I'm pretty sure you can outrun it. It's a turtle." And she's like, "Well, what are we gonna do? It's trying to lay eggs by the pool." And I was like, I don't know, Missy. I don't know what to do with it. So we call my brother. He's like, put it in a 5-gallon bucket and take it to the closest body of water. So we had like this little, I don't know, like a little pond. I call it a shit pond, but it really wasn't a shit pond, but it was like a shit pond. But so I throw this 5-gallon, I'm not picking it up. So, and she won't pick it up. So we throw the bucket over it and it starts walking down the sidewalk. So it looked like a bucket was just moving down the sidewalk. Well, I'm laughing so hard, I done pissed my pants. And Missy's like, get it, get it. And I was like, what the fuck? Why do I always have to get the creepy stuff? You know, she's like the manly one, works construction, you know, but I always had to do the creepy stuff. And so I was able to get the bucket turned over and we put it in the back of the pickup truck and we took it and we released it in a body of water. That would have led to a river that would have led to the ocean. So I hope it was a sea turtle. But so then this is true story. A couple nights later, me and my sister is out in the garage. We got the stereo jamming. We got the golf machine on. We're drinking. She's a big neon light kind of person. I mean, she likes Bud Light signs and all this. It was like her man cave. I would call it a she shed, but she's married to a woman, so I'll just call it a man cave. Oh God, that'll get me a FOD video. But uh she called it her man cave, so I don't give a shit. But we're out there and we're partying, and the neighbor lady come walking over and was like, "Yeah, come on in." And she sat down at the big high top table we had out there, and she gets to talking, and she said, "Yeah, I rescue turtles. I have about 15 of them, and I'm missing one." Well,
Oh no.
me and my sister just looked at each other, and I was like, "Shh, shh, don't say a word. Don't say a word." I wasn't about to tell that lady, well, we took your turtle over there to that body of water if you want to go try to find him. But that's what she did, was she rescued turtles, and she had about 15 and she was missing one. She's like, I don't know where he would have gone. And I want to say it wasn't a he because it was trying to lay eggs in our yard, but I don't know. I could write a
Oh,
book, you know. I've had so many experiences in my life and regret very few,
hi Mojo. How are
regardless of how
you?
they turned out.
Yeah. I like turtles. They're cute. I don't know.
But if I see like a box turtle in the middle of the road or something, I'll get out and move him.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
I don't want to see him get squished.
What I can't deal with is snakes. Oh my gosh.
Now, see, there's another thing. In Florida, in Florida, there's these snakes. They're called black racers,
Mm.
and they're not, they're not poisonous, but and they don't like attack you unless you get them like backed in a corner or something, and then they'll strike. Well, I
Mm.
did a double. I'm in bed. It's a Sunday morning. Pulled a double at work, and Missy started screaming. And I go out and she's on top of the washer. And I was like, what are you doing? She said, there's a snake in here. And I said, well, he doesn't want to be in here, Missy. So, um, just leave the garage door open. He'll leave. And she's like, fuck that. He's leaving now. And she had a broom. And I was like, well, don't kill him. They eat rats. I'd rather have him than rats. And he finally just, weaseled his way out. But then I hear my neighbor yelling down one day, and she's like, oh my God, I have 3 snakes in my yard. And I look out in my backyard, and I've got like 5. I said, well, I've got 5. but
Yeah, I can't do snakes. No.
they didn't
My
bother me.
my son had a red tail boa, and this thing was huge. No, it didn't come over here. Nope, nope, nope. He was at his dad's house, and he had that thing from when it was tiny. But when his dad passed away, yeah, we didn't keep it.
Oh,
We couldn't. I mean, actually, there's only a certain size that you're allowed to keep snakes. And this thing was so big that it was illegal to actually keep it. So, yeah, I think it went to like a zoo or something. I don't know.
well, they actually do boa hunts in
Oh,
Florida because boas are not. They're not. They're that's not their environment. Florida is not. It's. I don't know what you call it. It's not where they belong. It's not where they come from. But people get them, and then they don't want them, and then
what
they
kind of
turn them
snake was that
loose.
you had?
Colombian red-tailed boa.
Yeah, a Colombian red-tailed boa. How big was it when?
Apparently over 6 feet long.
Yeah.
It's illegal to own a snake over 6 feet long.
Yeah, it was over 6 feet long. It was a Colombian red-tailed boa.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
thank you.
insane. Yeah, I was petrified of the snake, like absolutely petrified. No.
I couldn't sleep at night thinking it got out. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Thinking,
yeah.
is it going to get out and crawl in bed and like choke me to death or,
His
you
dad
know,
made this cage for it. Like, and it was the size of their living room. I mean, it was really nice, but it was humongous. And they just kept it in there. And, oh, no, no, thank you. Can't do snakes.
me neither. Me neither. But there was a cat that went through the yard the other day. It had a baby bunny in its mouth. I was like, oh, hell to the no. So I convinced the cat to drop it. I scared the shit out of the cat. Dropped the baby bunny. The baby bunny ran under a
Oh,
bush. And I was like, okay, he's under this bush. He's shaking. He's trembling. But I want to know if he's hurt. So,
that
okay,
poor
how
thing.
am I? Yeah, how am I gonna catch a baby bunny who's under a
Hey,
bush?
Remy.
He ain't just gonna come out. So I threw a little ice cream. You get ice cream in those plastic pails, like for
Yeah.
birthday parties or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I put that over top of him. Kind of scooped him up. I mean, he's a baby. He's not gonna eat me or anything. And I just saw where he had like one little patch of hair missing. So I knew he was gonna be okay. I didn't see any bite marks or anything, but I was like, no, cat, you're not. No. And I
Black-hearted.
know it's nature. I know
Mm-hmm. It's just
it's the way
animal
it's supposed.
instinct. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a baby bunny. I now
Oh.
like baby bunnies more than I do cats. No offense to all you cat lovers out there. I have a cat here too, but
I'm a dog
I
lover.
had it.
I like cats, don't get me
Me
wrong,
too.
but I'm a huge dog lover.
Me
So
too.
I get it. Blackhearted, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna
abs
jump off here. I got some work to do around the house. I'll probably
so
do
do
one
I.
live here in a little bit. Thank you, mailman. Uh, good. No news is no mail is good. Good mail. Um.
You know what I
So
got in the mail? Let me tell you this real quick. Oh my gosh, this is one of my great success eBay stories. So, this is just a real quick story and then I'll let you go. So, I'm pretty much a G when it comes to finding jewelry and stuff on eBay. Get this. I see this jewelry piece. It's like this Chinese bracelet. And the guy, he only sells coins, but he was selling this bracelet and he said, "Well, I don't know if it's real gold or if it's gold filled." And when I was looking at the bracelet, I said, "They don't make gold filled with onyx. So I'm going to buy this." This bracelet was $15. I get it home yesterday and I tested it. Whoop whoop, 10 karat gold, $15. Winning.
do you know what gold is going for right now? Last
Yeah.
week it was going for 2,000 an ounce.
Oh
I
wow.
wish I had a gold bar
Oh, me
or a
too.
silver bar. I don't care. Yeah, a week ago it was going for 2,000 an ounce. An
That's
ounce.
crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep.
But I
So
thought
I was
that was
keeping an eye on that.
genius. I bought that bracelet for $15 because the guy didn't know if it was real or not. And so when I got it home, I tested it and it was real 10 karat. That was
Bye,
awesome
Lace with
sauce.
Lacey.
Thanks for
All right.
stopping by, Laced with Lacey.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, D-Rod. That was a great find. But
Yes,
like I said, oh, you're going to be so proud of my Patreon giveaways. I mean, I'm so excited.
I need
I
to get
mean,
in there.
I have
Tomorrow,
like
I
Apple
will be in there.
earbuds, Apple AirPods. Um, that's a really pretty sterling silver infinity sterling silver bracelet. But I
So
want to keep
yes,
that. So I want to win that.
Tracy Tracy has opened up her Patreon. If you guys would like to join an awesome Patreon, go over to Tracy's and please join. Tracy is amazing and I love her.
Or just sub me.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to be going live later with a little drama. And yeah, please come over there and sub her up and listen to her live. She's always got some great things to talk about and she puts things into perspective. So yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I want all of y'all to have a good day. I'll see you soon. Sarah, thank you for coming live because you always brighten my day. You always brighten
Thank you,
everybody's
Tracy.
day. So, and don't forget, you're an inspiration. You and Brandon keep up your series. Everybody enjoys that.
Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate that.
Brandon has one of those calming voices, and you are just so mellow and, well, most of the time. But
Yeah.
all right, I'll see you soon. I love you. You all
I
in the
love you,
crowd, take
Tracy.
care.
Thanks for coming up.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Everybody, thanks for coming over here and hanging out with me and kind of cheering me up. I really appreciate you guys so much. Like sometimes I get kind of nervous going live. And so I really, and hopefully I'll get used to it soon and I'll be able to do it more often. So, yeah, I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me and just listening to me ramble and listening to some of my stories. You guys are great. And yeah, so I'm going to jump off here too and get some things done and figure out what the kids want for dinner and take these doggies out. I haven't done it in a few hours, so they probably need to go out. So again, thank you guys for stopping by and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'll see you soon. Bye.